How's it going, everyone? Tyler Hopkins here with Timeout Branding, where we're going to take a timeout of our daily scheduled programming to focus on our personal brand or something that we enjoy doing. So I kind of look at your personal brand as something you can also hold yourself accountable with. Like if you love cooking and you want to build a brand around cooking, or if you like jewelry making or jujitsu and you want to hold yourself accountable to that, there's no real better way to do that than actually creating a brand that pretty much forces you to continue doing what you enjoy doing. So that's kind of how I look at building out a personal brand. And one of the core reasons why I would build out a brand is for that reason, because you can, which one is it? I think it's the fun one. So what we're going to do is break down my 5 reasons of why I think building your personal brand is going to be worth your time. And I'll go over my examples. And of course, if it resonates with you, then you'll be able to, start actually building out your personal brand and start taking some actions. And then if you need help doing that, that's what I'm going to be going over in these series. Is every Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be putting out these different videos that are going to be like this screen share, just like we're doing right now. So I don't really know if you would consider it a podcast, because it's more of a visual demonstration also, because I'm going to be using PicMonkey a lot. I'm going to show you how to do logos and how to make websites and different graphics, and just the things that I do within digital marketing, things that will add value to anyone else who's starting their own personal brand or wanting to start their own project. You'll basically be able to watch what I'm doing and learn from that, and then I'll be able to give you some tips and pointers just to make it a little bit easier for you, other than you trying to, do all of this on your own. You'll be able to kind of use this as some guidance. So what we're going to have is every Tuesdays, I'm going to do stuff like this, which is going to be me more talking about a concept. And then I think on Thursdays, we'll put out something else, and that'll be more based on a hands-on application of doing something. So I think the next video we'll do is the first part of making a personal brand, which would be, let me go to Timeout Branding real quick. So the first part of the starting your personal brand, we'll go over setting the foundation. So just think of it as you just asking yourself a lot of different questions, like what is your why? Like why do you, wake up in the morning? What are you passionate about? And then you can do what value do you add to the market, or what value could you add? Like, are you really big into fitness? Do you know a lot about fitness? Do you know a lot about marketing, jujitsu, cooking, video games? Like whatever it is, like that's what you have to figure out is where you're starting at, and then how you will execute. That's pretty much going over the branding strategy part. So I think that's what we'll do Thursday, is actually applying this first step, just in case somebody wants to actually start building their personal brand and they want to know where to get started. I think I'll pretty much go in order. So this is one of the brands I've been building. It's kind of been on the back burner because I've been growing this immunity brand. And all of this is going to start making sense when I tell you what my overall personal brand is, which I'll just actually go to it real quick. It's going to be the Hopkins Projects. So this is my personal brand, and it will give you an idea of different ways that you can do your own personal brand. Like if you want it more specific to like fitness, then you can make yours based more on fitness. For me, I want to build a brand that's going to be more long-term. So for me, whatever projects that I have going on, since that's how I like to operate, they'll always change down here. So I can have this website as my brand, and me building this over, my entire life is going to add a lot of value. So I control my brand by owning the domain, by connecting it with whatever social media sites that I want. So I'm more in control of what my personal brand and what my legacy will be moving forward, because you have to assume these different social media platforms are going to change over the years. But if you want to actually control your own brand, then you having your own website and controlling that as an asset and building that over years and years and years, I'm assuming is going to outlast any of these social media platforms. I don't think a website is going to change that much with this next evolution in technology, whatever that's going to be. So that's kind of how I look at building out your personal brand, is more for the long term. So for me, it can always change because I'm just into a bunch of different marketing type stuff to where it's always going to change. So I don't want to pigeonhole myself too much into, it being based on cooking or something that I might just be into in the short term. I want to do something more for the long term. So that's just a little example of my personal brand, which goes into the first one, which is your legacy. Like, how do you want to be remembered if you just so happen to pass away, or if somebody wants to learn a little bit more about you? Where are they going to learn that from? Are they going to learn it from social media, or are they going to learn it from your actual website, your own personal brand that you own, that you control? So that's kind of how I look at your personal brand, is you taking control over your digital name, if you will. So owning a website and such would help. For the next one, let's do fun. So you definitely need your personal brand to be something that you enjoy doing. Grow your personal brand around something you love, because it's going to be something you need to do consistently. So think about it like if you want abs, or if you want a super healthy body, it doesn't take a day or a week or a month. It takes month after month after month, year after year of you making these small little decisions that are going to benefit you in the long term. So think about that the same way with building a personal brand, is it needs to be something that you enjoy doing on a consistent basis. So figure out what is something that is already fun that you do. So if it's playing video games, or if it's jujitsu, I'll usually use fitness and video games as examples, just because it's something everybody can understand. And it does correlate a lot with building out a personal brand. Like, it doesn't need to be something that makes money in the beginning, because it needs to be something that you can do on a consistent basis, or you're not going to be able to build a big enough brand to be able to leverage your audience or to add enough value that then you could ask for money. So it needs to be definitely something that's fun for you. For me, just making brands is fun. Like making different logos, being creative with the different color scheme, actually making an actual product. That was fun for me. That's all these things are things I learn from, and then I can apply it and then just see how it works. Like, I'm interested in creating and building different brands, and that's what's fun for me. So, and of course, I can make money from that by applying the thing that I enjoy, which is branding. So you pretty much need to figure out, what is that for you? Like my brother, for instance, he really loves jujitsu. So, and he's really big into business. So that's fun for him. And then he can pretty much do that and make money, which is our next one. You can leverage your brand's attention for monetary gains. So this is after you build an audience, after you keep giving them value, however you're going to do that. For instance, with mine, what my whole plan is to give people the tools they would need to make a logo, to make a website, to make different graphics, to think of themselves as a brand. What would their strategy be? All these things are valuable to people who are interested in starting a personal brand or starting their own project. So as I build value and give that back to an audience, eventually I could ask for something in return, Like if somebody likes to drink tea or they're already consuming elderberry syrup, now they can get a 20% off by using Timeout promo code. So that is a way that I could monetize if you're already drinking tea and if you're already consuming elderberry syrup. Now I'm giving even more value back, and it doesn't come off salesy or cheesy. So you can do the same thing with whatever you're into. Like if you don't want to pitch anything with your product or service, then you don't have to. The first part is it needs to be fun. It needs to be something that you want to be remembered as. Do you really want to be remembered as that cheesy MLM type salesperson who keeps constantly trying to get you to buy this protein shake that's supposed to make you skinny, and that's all you have to do is just drink this shake? So do you want to be remembered as that? Is that going to be fun? For some people it is, but for me, I would want you to build a personal brand around something that's fun and that you're going to enjoy, because then you can do that on a consistent basis. And then you could potentially leverage that and then make money off of it. And that brings us to a fourth one, because that will make it easy for you to do. Like, what is something that you already do on a daily basis? So make your personal brand around something you already enjoy. So for instance, my brother, I'll use him as an example. He already does jiu-jitsu every day. Like, he enjoys it. It's going to be easy for him to leverage and build a personal brand around him being a jiu-jitsu entrepreneur, athlete, just having that as part of his lifestyle. That's going to be very easy for him to do. And if you cook, for instance, every single night on a grill or with one of those egg-shaped grills, I don't even know what they're called, but I know there has a whole niche community of people who use these specific grills. And if you do that every single day, that's content that's going to be very easy for you to do. So just think about something you already do every day. That's why I use gaming as an example. So if you're big into playing video games and you want to live stream and you want to build a community, you want to add value back to an audience, that would be a way you could do it. You could, what would be another one? So the fitness part. So if you're already working out every single day, and if you're already making these decisions about your nutrition, you have 3 times a day, you could be making content based around what are the choices that you're making. And then that's going to obviously add value to somebody who's interested in learning, what are the techniques that you do? Just like me, if somebody likes what this website looks like, the branding, the different graphics, and they want to learn how to do that, well, then now I would be able to teach them how to do that. So it's all about building an audience that's going to be easy for you to add value to. Which, let's see if that brings us to our next one. So future. Everyone will transact through their personal brands in the future. This is more trying to think of what's going to happen in the future as we do more and more transactions peer-to-peer. So think of it like right now, Facebook Marketplace is a good example because we buy and sell things from each other, even though we're using Facebook as the middleman or the marketplace. So in the future, just like how Uber works, is you not only have a rating for the driver, you have a rating for the passenger. So that's pretty much personal branding. Like, that's part of your reputation. And in the future, if you're going to be transacting more peer-to-peer, and if somebody's going to be buying tea, for instance, from me, let's go to Immunity. If they're going to be buying tea, well, building out a good personal brand would make sense because it's part of your reputation. People are going to want to buy from somebody else that they trust, that they like. And if you don't have an actual social media presence or a digital presence, it's going to be hard for somebody to know if they even trust you or not. So this is another example of why I'm making content like this. Like, if you like the different things that you're seeing and you want to make a website and products just like that, then this is the validation. It's just like you seeing somebody who has a 6-pack ab and they're telling you, like, I'll teach you how to get this. So it's like, you don't go to a fat trainer who's telling you, like, oh, well, I know all the different ways that, you can be extremely fit and healthy. Meanwhile, they don't look fit and healthy. Like, they can't actually show you an example. So that would be pretty bad, especially if you're, and I use personal training a lot too, because I used to be a personal trainer. So I have that as at least some knowledge. So in the future, let's bring this all back together. We're going to be transacting more and more through our personal brands or our own projects. Like, you can already see it with like Etsy and different little shops that are coming up, that you're buying from individual people more and more, and it's more a part of their brand. Like, Immunity, and the Hopkins family. If you make that as part of your brand, like we have that going out in our packages, like, that's part of your brand. It's you building that trust. It's you having a story behind your brand, and it's all meant for you to just build that engagement, build that relationship with an audience who, they might be interested in tea. They might like organic tea. They might already drink elderberry syrup, and they want to buy it cheaper and from a small business and a family. Like, that would be a way that, we could build our personal brand and our project into the future. So let's tie this all back together. So if you have any questions about this specifically, you can always go to our Facebook page, which it is just facebook.com and do / you can just search for it and you'll see Timeout Branding. You'll see this logo, which is very easy for you to see, so you won't miss that. So if you have any specific questions about this, you can go over there and ask it. And then on Thursdays, like I said, we're going to go over more hands-on stuff. Like, if you wanted to learn how to make a logo or a banner or a website, or pretty much anything that you're going to need to build your personal brand, that's what we're going to be going over Thursdays. So the first part, on Tuesdays, it's going to be more of us talking about things, going over some more strategies. And if this needs to change, we'll change it up. I want to try to put out at least 2 videos a week and then go from there. But again, this is pretty much the reasons why I'm building a personal brand. It's to what would I want to be remembered as. Like, this is a good way to hold yourself accountable. Like I was saying in the beginning, you pretty much hire a personal trainer not because you don't know how to do a push-up or a pull-up, or you don't not know that eating Snickers is unhealthy and that eating, fruits, vegetables, meats is healthy for you. What you do is you hire a personal trainer more for an accountability partner, just like you would join a group fitness class, because it holds you more accountable to something other than yourself. Like, it's not as easy to cancel a class that starts at 6 without it being more your fault. So if you think about building your personal brand, it's also accountability, because if you're going to start your jewelry business based around your name, or if you're going to start, talking about personal branding and branding as a part of your name, then you're pretty much holding yourself accountable. Then if you're saying you're going to put out videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays, well, then you're going to be holding yourself accountable. Just like if you say, I'm going to have, a fitness physique in 3 months and I'm going to compete in something, well, now you're holding yourself accountable. And if you post it online or digitally, then you're holding yourself accountable to it. So this is a good way that I'm holding myself accountable to this also, is by committing to putting out content twice a week. And that's going to hone my skills as well of putting out. It's like building a perfect physique takes those small reps. It takes you recovering the next day. It takes you focusing on your nutrition. It takes the next day doing upper body or doing a different body part, then resting. Like, it doesn't happen overnight. Just like building your personal brand, you don't have to have millions of followers your first year. Like, unless you're adding a crazy amount of value to a market, I think that's a big reason a lot of people don't start building a personal brand or start their own brand, is because it takes work. It's not something that's fun for them that they can do consistently. It's not easy. So these are all reasons why you should build a personal brand around things that are fun, that you enjoy doing. How do you want to be remembered? And then how you can leverage that into the future. How you could potentially monetize off of it. If you add enough value and you have a good enough skill set, then give out that information. Like, there's this big issue with Gary Vaynerchuk telling everybody, just give out all of your information for free, and then you can leverage that in the future, or you can just see what happens out of that. Like, there's no possible way that anybody is going to be able to do all of this on their own. There's going to be a small percentage of people who want to build a personal brand and they just want somebody else to do it for them. So there are going to be people who reach out who want me to do their marketing for them, which I might be able to, but I might not. Like, all I would really want is, if you drink tea, to just go ahead and buy tea from us or elderberry syrup. And then that's all I would really need from that. I'm not asking, like, this is a paid course, but I'm going to be pretty much walking through this. So you don't have to buy this at all. Like, this is, I think it's $200 and then $300. Yeah, so this one's going to be more about your digital assets, which I'm going to show you how to do logos and how to do, let's see if it says a little bit more. So it's logo design, website design, graphic design, and then setting up your social media, like your different banners, your different thumbnails, different things like that. So you don't have to even buy this. So this would be a way that I could leverage. But if you do want all of your stuff all in one place, and have the videos all up front and not wait week after week, then you could sign up for this, but it's not guaranteed. You don't have to. That's not part of the brand. So I'm pretty much going to hold myself accountable. Like I'm saying, this is going to come out Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you want me to do anything specific, like I said, go to our Facebook page and just ask, what you want us to cover, and then we will cover it. So I will talk to you all Thursday.